am Tony. Welcome to my channel. If you've never been here before, special welcome to you. Today we are going to be doing water transfer decals, or just decals, or water decals, water transfers, whatever you want to call them. It's a pretty easy thing to figure out. So basically we're just going to get into this. So I got out 5 decals. I got some butterflies, a little swoosh, and an elephant. I wanted to get out some things that were different. Okay, most of these decals are going to have a plastic cover over them when you take them off the sheet. You want to keep that plastic cover on there most of the time, but whenever you're ready to use it, you want to take it off. So I have my nails all ready to go, obviously. I didn't want this to be like a forever process. So, and then I have a little water thing. It doesn't matter what you use. You can use a cup, a bowl, whatever you want. Water transfers can be tricky at first. They are a little, I don't know, finicky sometimes, but I've seen people try to use tricks and things like that. I'm going to see if one of the tricks I've seen actually works. So what you want to do is dunk the water decal into the water, and chances are it's going to sink to the bottom. What you want to do is let the paper like get totally sopping wet, and you want the transfer to be as wet as possible. And then you're gonna let that sit for probably 30 seconds or so in the water, and then we're gonna transfer it to the nail. So we're gonna start with my pinky, which is purple, and we're gonna put a little pink butterfly on it. Hopefully this goes good. I haven't done water transfers in quite a while. I do have quite a few of them, but I didn't really dig too much last night into my stuff. I have so much nail stuff, I don't know what to do with it all, and water decals aren't something that I use all the time. So I want to grab this with my tweezers. You don't have to do that. You can grab it with your hand, but chances are it's going to stick to your finger. So basically, this is going to slide right off that piece of paper, and then it's just hanging there. So you want to put it on the nail wherever you want it, and right there is fine with me. Happy with that. So let me get out of my little spot in the shade, and then before you top coat this, I'm going to top coat all mine at the same time. You want to make sure that there is no liquid on the nail, like no water whatsoever. So yeah, that one was simple. Hopefully they all will be simple. I don't know that, but we'll find out. Okay. I did play around with one water decal before we did this, so I'm going to get that piece of paper out of there also. Okay, so the next one is going to be this little S looking swoosh. Let me get the piece of plastic off of it, and then I'm going to put it in the water. And a lot of the time you'll have to dunk it in the water yourself because it doesn't want to fall in there for whatever reason. So same deal, different transfer. I don't know how this is going to fit on the nail, and I should have kind of mapped this out before I put it in the water, but that's okay. You do have like a minute to mess around with it, but not too long. So, and some people like to cut their water transfers very, very close to the object itself. I honestly usually just go in a square around whatever it is, but some people like to go really, really close. Depending on the water transfer, it can either be cut to the size of whatever it is, or it'll be in a square. If it's in a square, you might want to cut closer to it, because sometimes you can actually see the edge border. So it's up to you though. A lot of the times when you put a clear coat over top of it, you won't even notice. So I'm gonna grab this out of here, and then I'm going to pull this off of there, and then we're gonna fit this on the nail. So let me try to get this to work, and I don't know if it's going to. So here we go. I have a little fold in the center of it, which I'm not too worried about, but if you do have any issues, the best idea is to get more water on it and then try to smooth it out. So that right there actually worked for me. You don't have a whole lot of time to do that, but that worked quite well for me. Like just getting a little bit of water on my nail and then smoothing that out. And then we have a nail with a little swoosh on it. Let me move my water a little closer. I want to make sure you guys can actually see what I'm doing, but I'm kind of having a hard time because of how close you have to be for this. Okay, now we're going to put a butterfly on a rose on the center one. Let me clean up my garbage real quick, because the less stuff you have on your table that you don't need, the better whenever you're doing nails. And this one actually curled right up and it's in the water. So that is something that is going to be pretty constant. You're just going to be putting them in the water. If you're doing water decals for a long time, the sheets do have glue on them. So your water, if you're using just a little tiny bit, like maybe a contact case or something smaller than I'm using even, you might get sticky water, which can be a problem. But that's only if you're doing water decals over a long period of time with the same water. That's why I got out 2 different little cups of water, just in case I needed to. I'm gonna grab that out of there, and we're gonna grab this water decal off there, and then we're gonna get my nail and just put it on there and drag it all over the place and make it look like crap. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to get all finicky, but it did. There's that. So it's a weird process, and it's very, very fast, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty simple, honestly. So I'm gonna go for the next one, which is a cute little elephant, and I don't think there's plastic on this one. I think it fell off last night. So there's that. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. Let me grab the nail off. I don't know if I'm doing better with the nails on the stand or off. So, and just in case you guys are ever wondering why I have this little square tile here, it's so I know that I'm on camera if I'm working above this tile, and I try to stay above it because I have this weird filming setup and I have to stay on camera as much as possible, and that can be a little tricky sometimes because you do have to move your arms around, and sometimes things take a little bit of extra finesse and you're just not ready for it. So that's all. That's the only reason I keep this tile on here. And sometimes when you're working with different things, It's a little easier to use. Okay, don't mess up the transfer. Don't mess up the transfer. Okay, let me get this guy off of there, and hopefully you can see him. Okay, we're gonna put that on there. That went on perfect. See that? He's the cutest little elephant ever. I love that. It is so cute. Okay, so we're gonna let that one sit, and then we're gonna go in for the last one. I thought about trying a trick that I saw somebody else use, but I've never done it myself before, so I'm not going to try to teach it to other people. I will try it myself and then maybe do it as a small tip in a future video. And the next thing we're going to use is another pink butterfly. I don't know why I grabbed 2 pink butterflies last night, but my fault. I think they even came from the same sheet, so I don't know how exactly I did that, but I did it at about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was exhausted. I was just trying to prepare for the video. So yeah, we are gonna let that sit for just a minute, and then we'll put it on the nail. Now these are just basic water decals. You can get really extravagant ones that are supposed to fit a whole nail. I mean, they can get a bit more crazy than just these small ones like this. This is like the biggest one I have that was a little harder for me to deal with because it wanted to crinkle up when I put it on the nail, but you'll have that sometimes. So I'm just gonna grab this little butterfly, and then it's just gonna move off the paper, and then we're gonna put it flying sideways, sort of like that. I hope you guys saw that, like me moving it. I don't think it's gonna move now because it's too dry, but it doesn't take long for them to dry most of the time. I'm gonna put my water off to the side now because we're done with that. And I don't normally, whenever I'm doing these videos, I don't normally decorate them too much because I'm not doing a decorating video, but I think next week we are gonna do gems, working with crystals and gems and big heavy charms, things like that. My dog's barking. I'll cut this out. He's done. Actually, I'm not going to cut that out. If he did it any longer, I would. But anyway, next week we'll do gems and crystals and charms and how you get those on. The best ways to get them to stick, get them to stay, to get them to work over a period of time. So if you're working with a client that's getting these things on their nails, they'll actually last for, say, 2 weeks, maybe. I'm not the greatest person in the world. I am just a DIYer. So what information I give you guys is just information that I've picked up over the years, and it has been years. I have been doing my own nails for probably, oh geez, 30 years. I'm getting old. I think I was about 13 when I started doing my own nails, but I didn't do them past, you know, putting crystals and stickers and things like that on them until I got to like my late 30s. So, actually getting like false nails and decorating them and stuff, I started doing that in high school, but doing it to the level I'm at now, I started in my late 30s, and I was not nearly to the point where I am now. It took quite a while for me to get here, but I'm always remember that you will get better with time, and practice does make perfect. So that's something you always want to keep in mind. So I'm going to pop these in the lamp. They were all dry and perfect. Look at how pretty those all look now. Now that they're nice and shiny, they actually look like they are supposed to be there. So you don't see any borders really. I see a little glitch with this one. It looks like there's a little slit in the decal, but other than that, I did a pretty good job on these. So I'm gonna pop those in my lamp, and we're gonna put them in there for a minute. All right, guys, so here are our water decal nails. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I am gonna look further into that little tip. You do use a stamper with that tip, so I'm gonna try that out and see what I can find out about it. And if it is easier that way, I will definitely let you guys know, because I would love to find an easier way to do it also. So yeah, but that was pretty simple, and look forward to crystals and gems and charms and all that fun stuff next week, and different types of application and glues and things like that. So I am looking forward to that myself. So wherever you guys are, whatever time of day it is, I hope you're having a great one, and I will talk to you guys next week. So that's it for now. All right, bye guys.